Cold steel, that's all he felt. The biting wind, a phantom against his tear-stained cheeks. Below the river roared, a hungry beast in the night. Samuel gripped the railing, knuckles bone-white. Despair, a shroud clinging to his soul. This was it. The end.
Murmuring a prayer for forgiveness, for release.
But the wind seemed to mock him, carrying his whispered plea into the abyss. He was alone, utterly alone. Then a voice, soft yet chillingly close. Looking for a way out? Samuel's eyes flew open. A figure stood beside him, shrouded in darkness. A cloak, the color of midnight, hid its face. In its gloved hand it held a lantern, its light a sickly yellow against the black water. Fear, sharp and cold, shot through Samuel. He tried to speak, but his voice died in his throat. The figure stepped closer. The lantern swung, casting grotesque shadows that danced around them.
There's always a choice.
The figure rasped, its voice like dry leaves skittering across pavement.
Who are you?
The figure chuckled, a low, unsettling sound. A guide, a ferryman, you could say. There's peace in oblivion, an end to suffering. Samuel stared into the abyss. Oblivion, sweet nothingness. He closed his eyes, picturing it, but instead of peace, he saw them. Their faces etched with pain, their voices accusing. His failures, his mistakes rose like bile in his throat. He recoiled from the edge, a strangled cry escaping his lips. No, not oblivion. He didn't deserve it. He deserved to suffer.
Take me to my hell.
And with a flick of his wrist, the lantern went out, plunging them both into darkness. As you wish. The ferryman smiled, a chilling, humorless expression. He landed hard. The air knocked from his lungs. As his vision cleared, he saw it. A city, but not of this world. Buildings twisted into grotesque shapes, reaching for a sky perpetually shrouded in ash. A cold, cloying mist clung to everything, heavy with the stench of regret. Whispers slithered through the fog, pronouncements of his failures, his betrayals, each word a fresh wound on his already ravaged soul. He stumbled to his feet, the weight of his sins pressing down on him, crushing him.
He walked. How long, he didn't know. Time had lost all meaning in this desolate landscape. Faces flashed past him in the mist, each one a ghost of his past. His mother, her eyes filled with disappointment. His brother, his face contorted in anger.
Each encounter brought a fresh wave of agony. Their pain, a mirror reflecting his own failures. He tried to reach out, to apologize, to explain, but his voice emerged as a strangled whisper lost in the wind. He arrived at a park. Swings creaked mournfully in the breeze. A lone figure sat on a bench, its back to him. He recognized her instantly. Sarah, his Sarah. The love he had lost.
He longed to call out to her, to beg for forgiveness, but the words wouldn't come. He had hurt her, betrayed her trust with his silence, his fear.
And now he was condemned to watch her, forever out of reach, the weight of his unspoken words heavier than any chains. A melody drifted through the air, bittersweet and melancholic. It drew him towards a grand concert hall, its once gilded doors now tarnished and cracked. He peered inside. The orchestra played on, their instruments weeping a symphony of his broken promises.
Each note a reminder of a trust shattered, a dream unfulfilled.
The music resonated deep within him, amplifying the hollowness in his chest. His hell wasn't fire and brimstone, but the agonizing echo of what could have been. He stumbled on, each step a monumental effort. The mist parted, revealing a cottage bathed in a soft golden light. He recognized it. Their cottage, the one they had dreamed of sharing, filled with laughter and the warmth of their love.
I remember this place, our dreams, our hopes.
He saw her through the window, her face aglow with happiness, but the figure beside her wasn't him. It was the man he should have been, the man worthy of her love.
Oh, how happy we could have been.
Jealousy and self-loathing gnawed at him, a constant reminder of the happiness he had so carelessly discarded. The city stretched before him, an endless labyrinth of his regrets. Everywhere he looked, he saw fragments of his life, twisted and distorted into agonizing reminders of his mistakes. The what-ifs and if-onlys echoed through the desolate streets, each whisper of fresh torment.
What if only...
He was trapped, not by physical bars, but by the iron grip of his own remorse. He had chosen this torment, this eternal descent into the abyss of his own making. He collapsed, his strength finally spent. The weight of his sins, his regrets, his failures crushed him. He wanted to scream, to rage against the injustice of it all, but all that emerged was a choked sob.
Why did it have to be this way?
He was frozen, trapped in the amber of his own despair. The city around him faded, replaced by an endless grey expanse, a bleak reflection of his shattered soul. The ferryman's words echoed in the silence, a chilling reminder of his choice. There's peace in oblivion, an end to suffering. But even oblivion would be a mercy he didn't deserve. He was condemned to wander this desolate landscape, his regrets his only companions for eternity.
This is my punishment.
The descent never truly ends. It continues day after endless day, a constant reminder of the price of regret, the unbearable weight of choices made and paths not taken. His hell was not a place, but a state of being, the eternal torment of living with himself.